You take a new job, receive a $6,000 raise, and assume your finances just improved. But your old 401k contribution rate does not follow you to the new company. If you were contributing 8% on a $60,000 salary, you were putting away $4,800 a year. If the new plan starts you at 3% on $66,000, that falls to just $1,980. That is $2,820 less going into retirement over the year, even though you are earning more. The new job may still be a great financial move. The problem is not the raise. It is the reset. With new benefits, new expenses, and everything happening during onboarding, that one setting is easy to miss. And your contribution rate is only one of 5 retirement settings that may have changed. One of the others can cost even more. Before your second paycheck, I will show you exactly what to rebuild. For now, remember one number. What percentage were you contributing to your 401k at your previous job? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious to see what everyone else was contributing. Vanguard studied workers who changed jobs and found that the median worker received a raise of about 10%, but more than half began saving a smaller percentage of their income afterward. Even workers receiving raises of 20% or more were affected. A better job can absolutely improve your life. It can increase your income, improve your benefits, and move your career forward. The problem is assuming that the retirement progress you built at your previous employer automatically comes with you. It does not. During my 15 years in retirement plan administration, I saw plans operate exactly as designed, while an employee's personal savings progress quietly moved backward. The new plan remembers its own rules. It does not remember your old contribution rate, your old employer match, your automatic increases, or the investments you selected at another company. You have to rebuild those decisions yourself. The first setting creates the most visible loss. Suppose you earned $60,000 at your previous job and contributed 8% to your 401k. That placed $4,800 of your salary into the account over a full year. Then you accept a new position paying $66,000. That is a $6,000 raise. But during enrollment, the new plan starts you at 3%. Some plans use different default percentages. Some do not automatically enroll employees at all. The exact number depends on the plan. The important point is that your previous 8% does not transfer. 3% of $66,000 is $1,980. Your income increased by $6,000. Your annual contribution fell from $4,800 to $1,980. That is $2,820 less going toward retirement. Nothing malfunctioned. Payroll did exactly what the enrollment system told it to do. The new plan followed its own rules. The problem is that one default replaced years of progress. Now restore the contribution rate to 8%. 8% of $66,000 is $5,280. One employee contributes $1,980. The other contributes $5,280. Same job, same salary. A $3,300 difference created by one menu setting. Your first action is simple. Find the contribution percentage from your previous plan and compare it with the percentage inside your new one. Choose the new rate deliberately. You may decide that the old percentage is not affordable during the transition. That is okay. Rent, groceries, healthcare, childcare, debt, and emergencies still exist. The goal is not to ignore your current reality. The goal is to prevent a default from making the decision without you. But restoring your contribution rate does not guarantee that you receive all the employer money available to you. A new job means a new matching formula. Do not look only for the word match. Find out what you must contribute to receive all of it. Your old employer may have contributed 50 cents for every dollar you saved, up to 6% of your salary. Your new employer may contribute dollar for dollar up to 3%. Both formulas can produce a maximum employer contribution equal to 3% of salary, but only when you contribute enough to trigger the full amount. Then check when you become eligible. Some plans allow employees to contribute immediately. Others use a waiting period or a future entry date. The employer contribution may begin on a different schedule. Also check vesting. Money deducted from your own paycheck is yours. Employer contributions may become fully yours over time, depending on the plan. A higher salary does not automatically mean a stronger retirement benefit. The offer letter tells you what the company pays you today. The retirement plan information tells you what the company may add for later. Find the matching formula in writing. Calculate the percentage required to receive the full available match. Then check eligibility investing. And even after you capture the full match today, another reset can quietly keep you saving less for years. Many retirement plans offer automatic escalation. That feature gradually raises your contribution percentage, often by 1 percentage point each year. You might begin at 3%. The next year, the rate moves to 4%, then 5%, again to 6%. The increases feel manageable because the change to each paycheck is small, but that schedule belongs to the plan you left. It does not follow you to the next employer. The new plan may start a different schedule. It may require you to turn the feature on, it may not offer the feature at all. Imagine that you spent 4 years moving from 3% to 7%. Then you changed jobs and started again at 3%. On a $66,000 salary, 1 percentage point equals $660 per year. A 4 percentage point drop equals $2,640 less of your salary going toward retirement. And that is before considering employer contributions or investment growth. The employee does not feel like they made a major decision to save less. The decision arrives disguised as a default. Check whether automatic escalation is active. If the plan offers it, select an annual increase and date that fit your finances. If it does not, create a yearly reminder to review the percentage yourself. Tie it to something you will remember. Your birthday, your work anniversary, your annual review, or the month raises are normally announced. The contribution rate controls how much reaches the account. The next setting controls what that money actually does. The investments from your previous 401k do not transfer into the new plan. The new employer has a different menu, different funds, different fees, different default choices. Many plans use a target date fund as the default investment. That is not automatically a bad option. A target date fund can provide a diversified portfolio that gradually becomes more conservative as the selected retirement year approaches. The problem is not that the plan selected a default. The problem is never checking whether the default fits you. Look at the year attached to the fund. Look at the balance between stocks and bonds. Look at the expense ratio. Consider whether the level of risk makes sense for your timeline and your ability to remain invested during a downturn. You do not need to build a complicated portfolio during your first week at a new job. You do need to understand what you own. A default should be reviewed, not automatically rejected, and not automatically ignored. Confirm two separate things. Is money entering the account? And is that money invested the way you intended? But the largest retirement balance affected by your job change may not be inside the new plan at all. Leaving a job creates a decision about the retirement account you left behind. You may be able to leave the money inside the former employer's plan. You may be able to move it into the new employer's plan. You may roll it into an IRA, or you may take a taxable distribution. There is no universal answer that fits everyone. Before choosing, compare the costs, investment choices, services, legal protections, tax consequences, and ease of management. Leaving the money in the old plan may make sense when that plan has reasonable fees and strong investment options. Moving it into the new plan may reduce the number of accounts you have to manage. Rolling it into an IRA may offer more investment choices and direct control. Do not choose based only on convenience or pressure from someone who benefits from moving the money. And be extremely careful with cashing out. An early distribution may create current income taxes and an additional penalty, depending on your age and circumstances. The damage is not limited to the amount removed. You also lose the future growth that money could have produced. A $5,000 balance can look small next to a new salary. That does not make it disposable. It is $5,000 that already completed the hardest part of the process. It was saved. If you complete a rollover, confirm that the money reached the correct account. Then confirm that it was invested. A rollover sitting in cash is not the same as a rollover working toward retirement. Make the decision deliberately. Before you move the old account, make a 4-line comparison. The current balance, the annual fees, the investment choices, and whether the money will actually be invested after the move. You do not need to solve every retirement question today. You only need enough information to avoid making the fastest decision because onboarding has already drained your attention. That simple comparison can prevent convenience from becoming a permanent financial choice. Nobody has to make a mistake for any of this to happen. Payroll follows your new election. The provider follows the new plan's rules. The employer administers its own benefits. None of them knows that you spent 4 years increasing your contribution percentage. They do not know why you selected your previous investments. They do not know whether your old employer match was stronger. The system can operate correctly while your personal progress moves backward. That information belongs to you, so rebuilding it also belongs to you. Nothing may look broken. The paycheck arrives. The account opens. Money may even begin entering it. The loss becomes visible only when you compare the new setup with the old one. And one job change is not the largest risk. The larger risk is repeating the same reset throughout your career. One reset can reduce annual contributions by thousands. Repeated resets can interrupt the same progress again and again. Vanguard modeled a worker beginning at $60,000 who changed employers 8 times during a career. When the worker's contribution rate repeatedly reset, the projected retirement balance ended as much as $300,000 lower than the balance of someone whose savings rate continued increasing. That is not a prediction for every worker. Your result depends on salary growth, contribution percentages, employer matches, investment returns, timing, and how quickly each reset is corrected. But it demonstrates what repeated interruptions can do. Each time the contribution rate falls, less money enters the account. Each time automatic escalation restarts, future increases arrive later. Each time a match is misunderstood, employer money may be missed. Each time an old account is cashed out or left unmanaged, another part of the retirement system becomes disconnected. The job change is not the mistake. Failing to rebuild the retirement setup is the mistake. One reset looks small. A career of resets does not. Think back to your last job change. Which setting would have been easiest for you to miss? Rate, match, automatic increases, investments, or the old account? Comment one word. No salary or account balance required. Then use this check before your second paycheck. First, compare your previous contribution percentage with the rate inside the new plan. Choose the percentage deliberately instead of accepting it by accident. Second, calculate what you must contribute to receive the full available employer match. Check when you become eligible and when the employer contributions become fully vested. Third, confirm whether automatic increases are active. Turn them on if the feature and increase fit your finances. Otherwise, schedule a yearly contribution review. Fourth, check what the new contributions are invested in. Review the fund, allocation, target year, and fees. Fifth, make a deliberate decision about the retirement account you left behind. If you complete a rollover, confirm that the money arrived and was invested. Then review the beneficiary information on both accounts. A new job, marriage, divorce, child, or other major life change can make old beneficiary information outdated. You may decide that restoring your previous contribution percentage is not possible immediately. That is still a decision. Choose the rate based on your actual circumstances. Then create a plan to review it again. Do not let a temporary default become permanent simply because the first few weeks were difficult. This review is not about building a perfect retirement plan in one night. It is about restoring control. Once these settings are visible, you can choose what fits your paycheck today, what you want to increase later, and which decisions need more research. That is progress you can actually measure. A bigger paycheck is only one upgraded stat. The real win is making sure your contribution rate, employer match, automatic increases, investments, and old account move forward with it. Before your second paycheck, rebuild the settings your previous employer could not send with you. That is how you keep the raise, protect the progress you already made, and stop one quiet reset from following you through the rest of your career. Then take the next step. Decide whether those new contributions should be Roth or pre-tax, because the same contribution can produce a very different result after taxes. Subscribe to Max Stats Finance, because every video is built around the same goal. Identify one money stat holding you back, fix it with a practical decision, and move to the next upgrade with more security, more freedom, and more control. You do not need to become perfect with money overnight. You need to keep improving the system until your money supports your life instead of controlling it. Your next upgrade starts here. I'll see you in the next one.